What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today, I wanted to give you a regular speed video of how I do body cavitation on a client with some stubborn areas. So, as you can see, I have actually circled the stubborn areas because it looks different from when they're standing up versus to when they lay down. The reason why I do that is so that way I don't lose track of the actual area that I am trying to work on. With cavitation, it is very important, especially on these slower areas, to go slow. We are targeting fat cells. We want to get all of those fat cells. Sometimes with cavitation, if you move too fast, you're not going to get all the fat cells. So that's why I'm going at this speed, very slow, but not to the point where I accidentally shock my client. Nice and slow. Each fat cell is getting attacked and is slowly starting to liquefy. And I'm going to do this a bunch of times, like literally going in circles because I'm getting those areas around the outside, and then I'm going to work my way into the middle. Another reason why we're going slow is because you want to give those sound waves time to actually work on the area that you are working on. If you're going too fast, the sound waves are not going to really be able to attack like they should. So that's why we're going slow. And yes, during this session, it's going to seem really weird, but stay with it. Let your client know why you're going slow, and sing a little song in your head. Sometimes I like to count so I can keep track of how many times I've actually been going in the circular motion. So I'm just going to let you guys watch for a little bit right here as I continue to work on this area. Here is where I'm going to start moving that cavitation wand back and forth over the area so I can now get the inside of where I was going in that circle. And again, the reason why we're going back and forth like this, still very slow, is because you want those cells to get all of that pressure so that they are really going in and liquefying as you're doing your procedure. Always remember, with cavitation, slow and steady wins the race. Especially in these stubborn areas, you're going to have to put in the work here. You're going to have to take your time, go as slow as you can. But again, you want to keep it moving because you can also send a little shock to your client if you stop completely. So slow and steady wins the race, but also don't stop. Go as slow as you can without stopping. Whether you're going to go in the circular motion, like I'm doing here, or the back and forth motion. Either way, you're doing the same motion, very slow, especially on these stubborn areas. And now I've worked on that area for a good 5 or so minutes because, again, I don't want to overwork the area because you're not going to want to do cavitation more than about 30 minutes. I try to do about 20 to 30 minutes per session because if you do any more than that, you could cause more harm than help. So you definitely don't want to do too much. But on these stubborn areas, you're going to want to give them special attention. And that's why I have circled them, because these are the biggest problem areas that my client is having with losing weight, which is that fupa area. You can literally get these markers from Amazon. They are skin safe markers. They are used by tattoo artists. So yes, they are safe for your client's skin. That takes no time to go in there, circle those areas, so that way you are getting the client right in the areas that you really want to focus on. Get the markers, take the extra time, because it's going to be better beneficial for your client, and you're going to get the results that you want and that your client wants, all because you decided to take the extra time to go ahead and make those markings and circle those areas. So just go ahead and do it. I promise you, you won't regret it. I worked on that side a little bit more. Now I'm going to go back to the top. And the reason why I went back to the top on this client is because the top area is more prominent than the bottom area. So I gave that area a little bitty break. So because you don't want the client to be too sore as well. And cavitation does have the potential to make them sore from overworking it. So you want to, give it a break, give it a rest during your procedure as well. Especially if you have two different areas that you're working on, you can alternate between the two areas. But this area right here is my biggest focus for my client in this session, because that has been a big problem area for her. We all have them, and it's important to know your client's big problem area so that way you can adjust their treatment as necessary. Super important to know what you're doing and why you're doing it and what areas you're going to work on, so that way you can give them the best results. Started to notice my client's skin is getting a little bit dry, so I'm going to reapply the Derma Boost. You guys know by now I'm a big fan of Derma Boost. It really helps to take your regular ultrasound gel to the next level. And also in my ultrasound gel, I actually add sea salt. Sea salt is a natural conductor because you really want a nice conductive gel for the cavitation to work. Just your regular ultrasound gel, it will give you some results, but to get great results, you want to spruce that gel up really good. And like I say, I do the Derma Boost and I add a little pink sea salt, and also hyaluronic acid to keep everything conductive, keep the skin smooth, and keep it hydrated as well. So now that I have worked on both of those problem areas that I've circled, now I'm just going to go in and do cavitation on the rest of the stomach, because even though we are focusing just on her stubborn areas, you don't want to overwork those areas because she's going to be really sore in those areas. And plus, we have other areas of the stomach that we're working on as well. I just wanted to make sure I did give that special attention to those areas starting out. So here I am doing what's called the fan method. So I like to do the fan method, especially when it comes to snatching your client's waist, because we're going to keep going in. We're making sure we're getting that waist area, bringing it in, make sure we're cavitating all of those areas. And again, repetition is key with cavitation. You're going to want to go over those same fat cells over and over and over again, because you want to make sure you're actually getting all of them. And you're still going to go in a fairly slow motion, because you want to make sure you're getting all those fat cells nice and even, so you're not spot reducing one area. So again, I'm going back and forth in that fan motion. I like to count, like I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 to maybe like 10 or 20 seconds, just depending on how I'm feeling. But you want to keep it even. You don't want your client to be snatched on one side and then the other side is kind of like, oh, she missed a couple spots there. So you want to keep it even, whether you have to count, whether you sing a song, whatever you have to do to make sure you're keeping it even on both sides is essential. You want to do everything, keep everything even, everything together. After you've done the fan method for a while, you can again, I like to go back in and hit those stubborn areas just a little bit more. Again, you don't want to do too much because you don't want your client to be super sore, but these are our problem areas. So we're going to go in and just give them a little extra love right here. Then go back in. You want to hit a little corner as well. This is actually in my book, in my manual. This is where they recommend in these 4 little corners. So I hit the first corner, which happened to be a problem area. Now I'm hitting this next corner here. You want to go over about 10 to 20 times to make sure you're really getting in there. And again, this is another corner. Of course, there's also a stubborn area, but I'm still going to give it a couple more cavitation action here. And again on this side right here. So just make sure, I pretty much have hit all areas of her stomach on this video. Again, starting most importantly with the stubborn areas, but you really want to give your clients the best results. So using different methods, all going fairly slow, so that way the cavitation can really do its job and really get into those fat cells. And again, I go back into the fan method just to make sure I really got all those areas. Now that we're in the last couple moments of this cavitation session, because we did do 20 minutes here, the last couple moments I'm literally going back and forth over her entire stomach, just making sure I really got all parts of her stomach. Did not want to leave any piece out. I think I covered everything from this video. Like I said, I know it's long, but I really wanted you guys to see it in real time. I do a lot of sped up videos, and so a lot of people are like, well, how slow are you actually going? This is literally in full speed of how I'm going. There's no reason to be doing cavitation super fast. Like, if you're going to go fast, it's not going to hit the fat cells like it needs to, and you have the time, so there's no need to rush it. Just go over, make sure you're getting all of those areas, make sure we're getting all those fat cells, and yeah, that's what's going to give your clients those results. That's going to keep them coming back. Also, if you are a client watching this, make sure to ask, like, is there a reason why you're going so fast? Or because they may have a different method. Every method is different. This is the method that I have found that works for me, especially on bigger clients with more stubborn areas. That's where I've had the best results. And again, I'm going to hit that one last time just to make sure I really got into the area. And that's it, guys. If you have any questions for me below, you can drop them. You can also message me. My socials are the same across the board. So you can always find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Send me your private message there if you don't want to put it in the comments, because I know I get it. People don't want to be judged. There are no dumb questions, especially when it comes to body contouring / body sculpting. They mean the same thing, but you will hear them interchangeably. So I wanted to make sure you knew both. Again, I'm going to hit that circular motion in each corner of her stomach as well. Just making sure I've covered all my bases, because we have been at this for 20 minutes and it's about time to wrap it up. Again, thank you guys if you watched this far. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I taught you guys something today. I hope I've answered any questions that you may have. If you like this video, always subscribe. Let me know what else you'd like to see as far as it relates to body contouring. And stay tuned for my clients' results. I have them right on the end of this video so you can see the effort that went into the stubborn area and how it turned out. It was totally worth it. The going slow, taking the extra time on those areas, it really helped bring it all together. And not only that, my client will still continue to drain those fat cells for the next 3 days. So her results are going to be even better than what you're going to see right here. But this is immediately after that session.